Hey everybody, this is Rustin Rose with Access Entertainment and Metalholic Magazine, and joining us today, I'm going to butcher his name. Is it Mark Vollelunga? How do you pronounce it?
That was pretty good. Yeah, it's Vollelunga.
Vollelunga.
Say like you're Italian.
There you go. Mark from Nothing More, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to chat with us. I know you're out on the road, I think Michigan today, on the Monster Energy Outbreak tour, right?
That is correct. Yeah, we are in South Detroit tonight playing Flint, the legendary Machine Shop tonight.
The Machine Shop, yeah. Nice. You got to make sure you get that photo back there with all the albums and everything like everybody does. So, well, thanks for taking a few minutes to chat with us. I'll try not to steal you for too long, but exciting things happening. How's the tour going so far?
It's going really great. Yeah, the response has been incredible. Great turnouts, and it's a really good lineup from start to finish. My favorite is probably Turbo Wolf. Yeah, they're just really entertaining from start to finish. Great band from the UK. We're all really bummed the Marmozets couldn't be on the tour. As a couple weeks ago, their lead singer got tackled and broke her leg. So terrible news, and they weren't able to do the tour, obviously. So I think she's getting surgery, and we all wish her speedy recovery.
Well, let's hope so. So, and you guys have Ben Anderson playing drums for you on this 2015 run. Is that just a live gig, or is this something permanent for the band?
I can't say. It's too early. We're definitely open to the idea. We definitely wanted to, to see what happens. It's kind of too early to say anything.
Right. Feel it out, see how the chemistry works.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a great dude, got a great head on his shoulders. Man, killer musician. So we're really excited, and, we wish Paul the best and hope he's happy at home. We're all really bummed that he stopped, but we're really excited just about how everything's sounding with Ben and how tight we all feel. It's cool.
Now, you guys recently wrapped a European tour with my pals in Hailstorm, I believe, and I've sort of been hailing them as the saviors of rock music for several years now, which is the same label people have started placing on you guys these days. How do you feel about the weight of carrying such a flag?
Oh, man, well, for one, it's definitely an honor. That's awesome. I mean, we're all in this together, not to say that we're necessarily doing something new, but more we're just trying to help rock in general and get it back to the roots of it, being edgy and saying something. So it's exciting. People have responded very positively and have jumped on the board and, like you said, kind of given us this title. So we know we can't do it alone, and we really hope others kind of jump up and start doing some cool stuff.
Well, and that's a nice segue into one of the other questions I was going to ask you, because two of the most intriguing things about Nothing More for me, besides the music, of course, are your dynamic live shows and your powerful and intelligent lyrics. Tell us about the importance of those aspects of Nothing More from your perspective.
That's too kind, first of all. But really, we like to collaborate on every part of the music, and we really think, 3 or 4 brains, depending on who's all in the writing process, is better than one. So, for example, Johnny has a say in all the guitar parts, same as me in the lyrics and the melodies. We all just kind of do everything together. So we're really excited that, things have been going as well as they have, definitely blessed, and yeah.
Well, and you guys have another single coming out off the album here, Here's to the Heartache. Tell us a little bit about the backstory on that song.
Yeah, we're really excited. We didn't think we'd get 4 singles, but, the label's really excited about it and pushing it. So we're happy to kind of do this. It's more of a ballad tune, so it's slower, kind of in a 3/4 sort of way, and it's really just a big anthem, a big chant, and the song just explains, here's to all the pain and all the suffering that we've been through that's got us here, because we wouldn't be who we are without all of that. So all the trials and tribulations, they make each of us who we are. So cheers to that, It's kind of a weird thing to say, to, rejoice in your sufferings, but that's kind of the point. So they really help shape you.
Well, and that's one of the things with your guys' music. I think it really emotionally connects with people. I mean, you know, you guys write very personal stuff. You guys are just wrapping up the I Know Jenny Pledge campaign, I believe, over this weekend. And that song, Jenny, very personal, obviously, to Johnny, and probably all of you guys as well, because I'm sure you've known her most of your lives. You guys have been together since the 7th grade. Tell us a little bit about what that pledge campaign means to you, and talk a little bit about, you know, the emotive side of your guys' writing, because that's, I think, what connects most with fans.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we like to kind of go one step further and really almost have therapy sessions in our writing and make it personal. Because a lot of the times those firsthand accounts, they will appeal more to us, of course, and really we get that release to whenever we sing or play it live, but for others too. That, you know, sometimes you have to get graphic and you have to get gore. You know, it's just like movies, you know, Saving Private Ryan and Passion of the Christ, there was a point to all of that intensity, you know. It's hard to watch, but that's kind of what we want to do with our lyrics and with our music. Kind of marry the mood of the lyrics to the mood of the music and make it kind of this one concoction that, you know, twists your gut and kind of pulls the knife out, if you will, to songs like Jenny and, you know, Sex and Lies or whatever. But regarding the Pledge campaign, we're pumped that people have been so supportive, and it really skyrocketed with people sharing their stories. You know, Johnny being the first to share his through the song, and then it just kind of really, really snowballed, and it's been really cool for people to spread that hashtag everywhere, the I Know Jenny, as well as basically spread awareness for mental illness, because it is such a stigma these days, you know. Johnny said it best. You know, if somebody has a broken leg or is on crutches or a wheelchair, you know, you wouldn't hesitate to open the door for them. But when somebody's got a broken brain, a lot of the times we just think they're assholes.
Right.
So it's really sad. But we want to help start that conversation, and so people can get the help they need and kind of figure it out, so we can all be more understood.
Well, and I thought it was big this year. Jill Janis of Huntress came out earlier this summer and talked about her mental illness problems with the bipolar disorder, you know, the dissociative identity disorder, and that stigma that's attached with it. And that's a big deal, to get people who have a voice, you know, like you guys do, like she does, to start opening that dialogue so that people can look at this, because it's an ongoing issue in around the world, but really in this country.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm not familiar with her, unfortunately. I'll have to look into that. But that's awesome. It takes guts just to take that first step, to be open and honest and share your stories, share what's wrong with you, you know?
Absolutely. So now the current self-titled record is the band's 5th record, and what I've heard of some of the old stuff and what I've read about you guys and what people have told me, it really feels like it's a birth in a way, a new beginning. Is that why you chose to self-title the record?
You're absolutely right. Yeah, it really did feel like a coming out to the world for us. This was our first release on a label. Granted, we actually did a soft release to our fans first of the record as is, and then whenever a bunch of, you know, all the labels approached us for the record, you know, we settled on 11/7, and they wanted to release it, 17 songs in all, so we were super pumped about that. And yeah, it really just felt like none of the other songs could really hold the weight of the whole album. It just kind of felt like it should be self-titled. Not comparing us to, you know, Metallica or any other bands that have kind of had their self-titled record later on in their career and not necessarily their first one, but to us, just it felt fitting.
And as you mentioned, you guys did a Kickstarter campaign for the record, which was later re-released through 11/7, as you said. That gave you guys a lot of creative freedom. It's a big album, a lot of music on there, and long running time. Is there any concern that with the next record now being with a label, you may not have as much time and freedom?
I don't think so. We're all kind of writing right now individually, and definitely excited come the new year to actually get the machine going and do the next one. But it's, I guess, in talks of getting together with a label, it's sort of understood that we kind of have our own process and our machine going, considering, we self-produce the whole album, and just we're totally confident in what we can do. We're open to the idea of working with other producers and mixers and such, but economically speaking, it makes a lot more sense to really just do it on our own, considering the tones and quality that we were able to get. And you can compare that to any other record, and I feel we're right on par, if not better.
Right. Nobody knows the music better than you guys do. It's your heart and soul that goes into all of this stuff. So, and that was a nice segue. Thank you for that. You're doing so well at this. It's almost like you've done interviews before. Speaking of the next record, it's been 2 years since the current one was done, because you soft released it, like you said, back in 2013. You're obviously, as you just said, looking at the new one. Now, do you guys write while you're out on the road, or do you have to be home to sort of get in that creative groove?
We do. I'm actually currently writing a lot right now. Really, we just want to be prepared and have material to start the next process. So I'm typically the one that kind of brings a bunch of stuff to the table, and then we just kind of have surgery on everything. And a lot of the times, the riff or whatever part started the song won't even end up in the final song. But yeah, sometimes it's hard to find that creativity and, I guess, inspiration, living in a hallway, from city to city and only having a few hours here and there. But it just depends on who you are. I'll just end up writing anything if I sit down. That's just kind of who I am. So I'm just kind of taking advantage of the time and being productive.
And you guys have had an opportunity, especially just over the last couple of years, to tour with some amazing bands. We already mentioned Hailstorm. You're getting ready to go out with Shinedown and Breaking Benjamin. You got some great younger bands out with you right now. Is there a particular band that you've sort of taken the most away from in touring with them, things that you've learned?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if there's one more than others, but I think it was really great for us to see a well-oiled machine when we last year did a tour with Chevelle for 2-3 weeks or so, and just see how pro everything is. That was really our first bigger tour we were on. Prior to that, we did like 3 weeks or so with Lacuna Coil, and I mean, that was great as well, and those are all really nice guys. They're all Italians, which is really cool. Yeah, it was fun. Probably the one I enjoyed most was touring with Killswitch, though. I wish that tour was longer. We were only on for 2 weeks, and that was last year as well. They're just a fun group of dudes who are definitely in it for the right reasons and do their own thing. I think I find a lot of similarity into how their machine works with how ours works, with Adam D kind of being the producer of the band, so to speak, and they all, take part in the writing.
You gotta love Adam, the court jester of the band, if nothing else, too. So, before we get out of here, as I mentioned, after the Outbreak tour, short run with Shinedown and Breaking Benjamin here in the States, then you get to go back over to Europe for a little bit. Anything else on tap fans should be aware of before we take off?
I think you covered all the bases. Right after Europe, we just confirmed a couple dates in Osaka, Japan, with Vamps. Yeah, we're really excited we get to go back. We made a stop at the beginning of the year in February. They had us out, and we got to play Budokan Arena, which was amazing and such an honor in Tokyo. So it's going to be really cool to see another city in Japan. So we'll get to play. I don't know the name of the venue, but we'll get to play in Osaka 2 nights in a row. So definitely looking forward to that, and that'll be quite a way to end the record cycle in Osaka.
Awesome. Mark from Nothing More out on tour in Michigan tonight on the Monster Energy Outbreak tour, getting ready to head out with Shinedown and then back over for you guys in Europe. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes. The new album is fantastic, but we're really excited to see where you're going to go with this next.
Thanks so much. We're all pumped and very excited to dive into the therapy sessions and see what comes out of it. Thanks so much for having me, Rustin.
Take care, Mark.